hi. We are visiting somewhere very special, Suffolk County District Attorney's Office. And I'm excited about that because they are the one who keep us safe. And I would like to introduce District Attorney Raymond Tierney and also Deputy District Attorney Lucie Kwon.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, hi. I would like to ask the first question, how, just everyday life, how do we prevent the crime?
Well, I don't think you can prevent crime. I think you can mitigate it. You could lessen it. But unfortunately, crime is here to stay. But I think that the first thing you have to do is is really two prongs. Number one is to the infinitesimally small percentage of the population that commits crimes, especially violent crimes, you have to be unsparing in your attempts to hold them responsible for what they do. Then the second aspect of it is education and outreach, to try to get to our children and teach our children that we live in a society and we need to respect each other. And one thing that I think that is starting to get lost is there are ramifications for your actions. And if you do certain things, certain consequences will flow from those actions and you'll be held responsible.
That's
so don't
great.
do it.
So I know that there's a lot of parents, the concern that even though their children is not commit the crime, but if they are together in the same area or same space, they get convicted or they get accused of the criminal act. So how do we avoid that?
So, that's a very interesting question, and I think it comes up in the context of oftentimes gang, gang cases where young people affiliate with one another, and then something happens, and so how do you separate the persons who are just there from the persons who are committing criminal acts? And I think what you have to do is fortunately, in our case now, we live in a very digital world, so there's a lot of evidence. So if something happens, you get all of the evidence, you get all the social media, you get all the phones, you get all the video, you put everything together, and then you charge. If you're going to charge somebody with conspiracy, which is thinking about and agreeing to do a crime, you have to marry that conspiracy with the actual commission of the crime. So you're not charging people with thinking about it, you're not charging people with talking about it, you're charging those individuals who actually commit the crimes. And then what you do is you hold those people responsible, and then you move on.
But how do I have parents can have a sense of crime, or maybe my children is hang out with the wrong crowd, or how do I find that out?
Well, I mean, I think what you have to do is, and this is what my father always told me, is if you want to know what kind of person you are, look at your friends. So, I think, one of the things that parents have to be strong. They have to say, listen, you need to affiliate yourself with, it doesn't matter who you affiliate yourself with, just as long as they're good people. And, you could tell. I mean, you could tell when people aren't doing the right thing, and when people are behaving in a way that's detrimental to society, and those people are a waste of time. So don't hang out with them.
I mean, school always advise. I work for New York City Board of Education for 20 years, but always we say invite that friend to the house and feed something so that they can observe what kind of friend they are hang out with. So I know that who you are and what kind of responsibility. Can you tell me what is your district attorney's responsibility, and what is your the structure, and how this you work with the police when they commit crime? Can you just explain to the viewer and what is your responsibility?
Sure. So I'm the district attorney of Suffolk County, and under our Suffolk County chart and also our state constitution, I am the lead law enforcement officer in Suffolk County. So
that's include the police?
Including the police. So the police department is a separate entity. In Suffolk County, we have, in the 5 western towns, we have the Suffolk County Police Department, which is the 8th or 9th largest police department in the country. Very big, modern, effective police department. Then on the east end, we have our village and town police departments out there. So we work with them. We work with the Suffolk County Police. We work with our Suffolk County Sheriff. sheriffs. We also work with our federal partners, ATF, FBI, IRS, and so if a crime occurs in Suffolk County, I have primary jurisdiction, so I sort of oversee the investigations and make sure that the investigations are headed in the right direction.
Okay, and since you came in, and there's a great development of the Gilgo Beach, and you have excellency of your technology, and also you have excellent attorneys. And how do you like turn over? And also, I just find that out that it's like almost like 4 times lower than city crime level. How do you do that?
Well, I think the big thing is I've been a prosecutor. You know, when I was asked to run, I never ran for public office before. I never belonged to a political party. I still don't belong to a political party. So I was asked to run for district attorney based on my 30 years of experience as a prosecutor on the state and local levels. So I took all of that experience, that 30 years of experience, and I brought it to Suffolk County. But I think more importantly, I brought with me a really great team. Some ADAs that were here, who we kept, and then other ADAs that we brought in. So we have ADAs like Lucie, who we work together. And the thing is, we live in this this forensic world with all this great evidence that's out there, but it only exists for a moment in time, like a cell phone call or a text message. It's out there. But it doesn't last forever. So you have to go out and you have to be aggressive and you have to go and get it. And then you have to collect all of the evidence and then put the case together in a comprehensive way. That's what we did in the Gilgo case, and I'd like to think that's what we do in all our cases.
That's great. So let's say in the level of just the citizen, if they see something, or they should record it or have to have evidence. Is that important now?
Sure. So we have a website, our Suffolk County DA website, where you can report crimes. Our Suffolk County Police.
Any individual.
Any individual. And we also have a tips line that's set up in Suffolk County. So there are places that citizens can report illegal activity. Many different ones, and the good thing about it's all coordinated. So if you report it to the police, we'll know about it, and vice versa. But I think what is real important is we need to be working hand in glove with our law enforcement partners, because, as we said, say there's 2 individuals rob a store. Right? They get into a car and they drive to the store and they rob it. Okay, and then they go and they put a gun at the clerk and they take money and they run out. Okay, so that case is there. There is an infotainment system in the car. So if you get the car, you could find out what phones access the car's computer, where the car traveled from, where it went before the crime. Once it got to the crime, and then where it got back, so you could trace that. You could find the phone numbers, you could find the identity of the individuals. There are license plate readers where there are computers out and video out there that are capturing people's license plates. There's video, in the surrounding stores. So all of this, and that's just a few of the examples. So all that evidence exists, but it doesn't exist forever. It disappears because it's constantly getting
Are you talking
over.
about the individual camera that installed in the
cameras,
car?
Cell site location, social media posts. All of these things exist, but they don't exist forever. So when something happens like a robbery, we need to work immediately with the police to make sure we obtain as much of that evidence as possible. So that when we catch the person who committed the robbery, we're able to hold them responsible because we have a strong case.
I know that there's many parents or the children, they want to be like you, right? So they mean what kind of opportunity do you give to the youngster? The volunteer, is there a volunteer experience? Because I know that before you become someone, the volunteer experience is really vital for their future career. So do you give any kind of volunteer opportunity?
Sure. So when we started
student program?
Sure. So when we started in 2022, we realized there was no community outreach program in the DA's office. So we started a community outreach unit, where we go out into the community and we meet with members of the community and we explain what it is that we do, because a lot of people really don't understand what a DA's office does. It's not just about putting people in jail, and it's about investigating cases, but it's also about outreach and prevention and education. So we talk about that kind of stuff. We also have a really robust internship program, and I think some offices run their internship program like it's an exclusive school, like it's really tough to get into. We don't see it like that. We try to make our internship program as inclusive as possible. We're constantly expanding it. I drive my staff crazy because really what I want to do is I want our young people to come in and learn about my office, but more importantly, learn about our criminal justice system and what's out there and what they can do. Maybe they'll be inspired to become a prosecutor or an investigator or maybe an analyst or a forensic scientist or a victim's advocate. So there are so many different things that we do as an office, and we want to just educate the community about it, and we want to bring in all of our talented young kids from all of our communities in Suffolk County with the hope of, number one, educating them, and number two, with the hope that we inspire them enough for them to come back and ask us for a job one day.
I know now the AAPI is very hot issue and hot topic here. So I want to know what kind of a community reach out regarding the AAPI. I know that, do you know what percent of the AAPI living in your district?
I'm not
Suffolk County.
I'm not sure. Do you know, Lucy?
So we make up about, we're the fastest growing community here in Long Island, especially in Suffolk County. The data shows that actually in the last election on Long Island that the AAPI community was actually the tipping factor. So here in Suffolk, I believe we are just under, we're a population of 1.5 million approximately, correct? And then we are just about north of 100,000 in population in the country. So if you look at it percentage-wise,
like 20%.
So if you look at it percentage-wise to the U.S. AAPI community, we make up almost 8% of the population.
Now, White House determined not only the AAPI, AA, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander. Now they expanded, so it's a whole different group.
Yeah, no, we include also the South Asian community, the East Asian community. So yeah, we're about north of 100,000 here, and very fast growing. In particular, and Ray knows this as well from his outreach, the South Asian community is a very fast growing community here.
Yeah, so when I ran for office, I ran against an incumbent who was fully funded. So it was initially difficult for me to get a foothold in the communities in Suffolk County. But I think the Southeast Asian, the AAPI communities really were the first communities to embrace me.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and that's really where I sort of got this concept of it was really important for us to have a robust community outreach because there's so many great communities out there. But not only do we owe it to all those great communities to do a great job, but we will also have to go out and interact with them, explain what it is that we do, give them hopefully confidence in what we do, and let them know that we work for them. So we want them to know what we do, and we want to be answerable to them. So say there's an incident in a particular community or a particular case, doing that case is half the job. The second part of that job is then going out to the particular community and say, hey, this is what we've done, this is why we've done it, this is how we've done it, and does anybody have any questions?
That's great. The social emotional learning, that means like you understand each other, the culture and language and everything. I asked Lucie Kwon, what kind of a reach out to and you succeed, and also what are you planning to have? I know that you came to the meeting. That was wonderful because we understand about the Gilgovich, and also you brought all different languages, the language translation in 5 different languages. That was very powerful. Language is the issue because it doesn't matter what kind of work you do, but language barrier is not communicated. So can you just, what's your plan or what you've been doing, the reach out to the AAPI and community?
Sure, yeah. So, I think I know when Ray first took office, one of the instructions that he gave to his staff was that he didn't want the worst day of people's lives to be the first time that they interacted with the DA's office, whether it is because they're victims or whether they're defendants. The other thing, too, he told us that outreach, community outreach was part of our job requirement. It wasn't really an option. It's like kind of like, it would be equivalent to one day deciding not to show up to court. It's a requirement because we serve the community, and these were messages that were very important to him, and it was part of his mission statement. He didn't want there to be that disconnect because, you know, it's we the people. So as I started going out to do outreach, and outreach wasn't foreign to me, it was foreign to me, or what was new to me was to do it at this status. You know, Ray appointed the first Asian American bureau chief in Suffolk County history, and going out and under that, with that status, it opened up a lot of doors for me, in that the community was very receptive. They were very trusting, and that's the other thing, is identity, right? So the community are less xenophobic. When they see someone that kind of looks like them, they're a bit more warm to welcoming them. Right. And what I noticed as I was doing all this outreach was that how the AAPI community felt very unheard and very underrepresented, and it really struck a chord with me. I brought that information back to Ray, and so Ray said, listen, you know, do what you need to do in order to make sure that they know that we're here for them, that we serve the people, and the people in its totality, not just a few chosen one. And that way, he said, and reach out, like in the sense that we partner up with other organizations that do a lot of research-based outreach. One in particular, the RA organization. I think that's a great organization to deal with. I know that their facts and what their programs are based on their research, because the other thing too is that we don't want the people to be exploited. That's one of my biggest missions being here. I notice that oftentimes communities are either exploited or told information that's not 100% accurate, and the purpose is for self-serving reasons. We're here really just to ensure that the truth is there, the people know the truth, and then them as citizens, as free-thinking citizens, as they have the right to choose which way or what their beliefs are. So our biggest mission is truth. One of the things that I did do is that obviously I work with the office with our outreach, and we work with other community outreach programs. Like we do a lot with Spin the Yard and Wyandanch. We do a lot with churches. We also do a lot with our other local elected officials, our congressmen, for example, Congressman Garbarino. Andrew Garbarino did a outreach with financial exploitation of the elderly. He called Ray's office. Ray was more than happy to participate. So myself and Ray and Congressman Garbarino, we did outreach to the community for in that particular manner. Moments like that, why it's so important is you talk about, even with our own children, networking. You know, at that time, I think Andrew got an opportunity to see what I did in Ray's office and the value and whatnot. So over the summer, you mentioned about internships and so the office's internship application has been unprecedented. I've been here 23 years. I've never seen anything like it in my life before. I believe most recently we had almost over 1,000 applicants. But the beauty of that applicants pool is that the diversity of it. So I have never seen this degree of AAPI applicants, or both on the internship side as well as on the attorney side. So this most recent summer, we took about 100 interns out of all those applicants. 7 of them came to me. Out of those 7, more than half of them were women. And out of those 7, 3 of them happened to be of AAPI descent.
Oh, wow.
One of them happened to be first-generation Vietnamese immigrant, and he is a student at UPenn. He came to see me at the end of his summer internship and said that he had an incredible time. He's also going to be doing an academic exchange program while in Washington, D.C., but he would like to incorporate his academia with another internship. Is there anything we could do? So having done that panel with Congressman Garbarino, we reached out to Congressman Garbarino's office and said, we have this intern. Are you taking spring interns yet, applicants yet? And they said, yes. Have him submit his application. Would you be his reference? I said, I would most definitely be his reference since he worked for me this summer. I reached out to Ray as well. I let Ray know what was going on. He said, yeah, no problem. And I received a message from this young intern who said that Congressman Garbarino's office offered him a spring internship with a stipend. The percentage of any student getting a congressional internship is less than 5%. Like moments like that is what I feel like the value of what I'm doing here in the AAPI community, that they see that there's opportunity, that they see that there's access, and you know, things that they've never ever had before. So you know, obviously I'm very grateful. The AAPI community is very grateful to the DA's office, to DA Tierney in particular, for creating these opportunities.
Absolutely excellent. That was great. I mean, that the youngster is going. He has like a success already in his future. That's great. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, that's what that's really what we want to do with our internship program. We want to. I think what a lot of young people don't understand is so many opportunities out there and so many things that they could do. So what we want to do is we just want to open up that world for them.
Right. But you made that connection, because it doesn't matter how wonderful they are. There's no connection. But that was great. Lastly, I just want you to, like, whatever you want to speak to the community, that what your thought and your wishes and whatever you want to, because of million viewers, they want to see.
Wow, don't put the pressure on me. I think what I try to communicate with people is. I think it's an amazing honor and a privilege to work as the Suffolk County District Attorney. I think I have the opportunity to really affect change in the community that I was born and raised in, which I'm raising my own family in. So, first and foremost, I have a stake in this community as a member. But secondly, I can use my office to educate people and to keep them safe. And that's a job that we take very, very seriously here at the Suffolk County DA's.
I wish you can bring this safety to the New York City, if I might say. It was wonderful, and thank you so much for your time, and great to working with the both of you. And this is great information to all of us and community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Christine.